I'm Nicolette. I work for Asian Texans for Justice as our programs manager, but I'm also known as San Antonio's Asian Princess. Progress Texas is what the future of Texas is going to become. The network of folks that are just high quality all over the state of Texas, of again, progressive folks who are committed to the values of not only being progressive, but caring about our community first and foremost. There's nothing like the people that you get to interact with and the community that you get to serve with alongside each other.
It's Thursday, May 15th, 2025, and this is the Progress Texas Daily Dispatch, rapid response on the breaking news stories Texas progressives need to know. I'm Chris Mosier. Edward McKinley and Benjamin Wormand at the San Antonio Express News say that after weeks of waiting, HB 2, the public school funding bill, is finally in motion in the Senate and is set for a public hearing at the Capitol today. As it began, in spite of Republicans' claim that it fully funds Texas's public schools to historic degrees, it simply does not. And as we've suspected, during that long wait, major changes for the worse have been made, including a massive slash to the House proposed raise to the basic allotment of about $500 per student, which to begin with was about half of what our schools need to keep pace with rising costs. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick and Senate Republicans have cut that away to a nub. It's now only an insulting $55 increase, which would be the first since 2019, what amounts to a defunding of Texas's public schools, even as private school vouchers have been forced into place. Also missing from the Senate version, over $1 billion the House wanted to spend to support bilingual and at-risk kids. No surprise there, we guess. Austin Rep. James Tallarico is disgusted, but also not surprised. He says, quote, Governor Abbott and Texas Republicans are defunding our schools in broad daylight after bribing lawmakers to vote for his voucher scam with the promise of historic school funding. Greg Abbott is unsurprisingly going back on his promise, unquote. Jaden Edison and Jasper Shearer at the Texas Tribune say House Democrats and public education advocates have been flustered, to say the least, over HB 2's slow movement in the Senate. Zeph Capo, president of the Texas chapter of the American Federation of Teachers, says, quote, I can't stress this enough. Texas public schools are facing an existential crisis, and we need lawmakers to move with a real sense of urgency. If lawmakers fail to deliver, we are heading into territory that I'm not sure our schools can come back from, unquote. End of session deadlines are looming. HB 2 has until May 28th to make it through the Senate before a final hammering out by a closed-door conference committee, and whatever version results would need a final vote in each full chamber before heading to the governor's desk. Legislative session ends on June 2nd. And as we've been talking about over the last few days, there are lots of other items that are facing that drop-dead date. Daniel Perot at KVUE TV in Austin says the Senate advanced a constitutional amendment high on both Abbott and Patrick's wish lists yesterday, a new restriction on Texas judges on approving bond for people accused of certain felonies. Special sessions have been threatened over this one, thus the urgency. Bail would be automatically denied to defendants who have been previously convicted of a felony, such as murder, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, or one that results in grievous bodily harm, aggravated kidnapping, aggravated robbery, aggravated sexual assault, indecency with a child, or human trafficking. State Senator Sarah Eckhart of Austin was one of two senators who voted against the bill. She agrees that people who are a threat to society or a flight risk need to be kept in jail, but she favors a similar bill, Senate Joint Resolution 5, which would allow judges to maintain case-by-case discretion and to deny bail to violent felony offenders if there's clear and convincing evidence that the person is a flight risk or presents a threat to the public if released. The other no vote came from Senator Molly Cook of Houston. Should it pass the House, SJR 87 would go before the voters in November. Just over the finish line successfully, a pet project of Elon Musk's that Republican lawmakers and Governor Abbott have been all too happy to fast track. More from Benjamin Wormand in the Houston Chronicle this time. Signed into law yesterday by the governor are an array of new corporate protections, one of which makes it harder for shareholders to file lawsuits against publicly traded companies in Texas, like the one that blocked a massive pay package for Tesla CEO Elon Musk, which is part of the reason he moved here. Democratic opponents of the new law held that it would further open the door to political cronyism because of the close control that the governor wields over the courts. Abbott appoints the 10 Texas business court judges every 2 years, a cycle designed to keep those judges under the governor's thumb if they want to keep their jobs. Update on a bill we've talked about and are hoping doesn't make that drop dead date. Texas booksellers are rightly up in arms over House Bill 1375, courtesy of Christian nationalist crusader Nate Schatzline of Fort Worth. It would allow anybody to sue a bookstore for stocking any book they personally find obscene. Kathy Doyle Thomas, president of Half Price Books, which has 37 locations across Texas, is among the book business leaders worried that unrealistic burdens on stores would result, not only for bigger chains, but especially for local mom and pop bookstores. This is a completely stupid and unworkable bill, but it did make the general state calendar as of today, so it's one to watch. We're at the point where just about everybody involved is ready for the session to end. Remaining deadlines are May 28th for final approval of Senate bills. June 2nd, sine die, is the final day of the regular session when all bills must be passed by both chambers to be eligible to be signed by the governor. And June 22nd is the last day for the governor to sign or veto bills passed during the session. Any that he leaves untouched become law without his signature. DFW and North Texas friends, please mark your calendars for Monday, June 9th, when we'll be hosting our 15th anniversary celebration in Dallas. Links to become a supporter and to secure your tickets are up now at ProgressTexas.org. Big shout out to our generous event sponsors: Howard Cleon, Charles Zeller, Pamela Pearson, Alex Andrade, Carol Taylor, Chuck Cruz, Amy Forehand, John Mazzaro, the Honorable Yasmin Simon, Bill Holston, and many more. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you in Dallas. Again, 15 years of progress, Monday, June 9th. Hope to see you there, dear listener. Tickets and sponsorship opportunities are up now at ProgressTexas.org. Our mission at Progress Texas is to counter the conservative disinformation machine, but they far outmatch us in funding. Oil and tech billionaires and religious right-wing activist groups spend a lot of money keeping their audiences in the dark. If you've come to appreciate the light that we shine on important political news in Texas on a daily, ongoing basis, please know that our regular, everyday listeners form the backbone of our funding here. If that's you, we could use your support as a monthly contributor, and no amount is too small. Go to ProgressTexas.org/donate. Thanks to Jacqueline Thomas, Julianne Reeves, and Susan Stonecipher, all of whom are on the team. We appreciate all of y'all very much. That's the Progress Texas Daily Dispatch for this Thursday, May 15th, 2025. Links to all these original stories can be found in our show notes. Progress Texas is a nonprofit rapid response media organization promoting progressive messages and actions. While campaigns come and go, we're the permanent home for progressive media and action in the Lone Star State. I'm Chris Mosier. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day. We'll see you again tomorrow morning.